back from the short break, and if you're just joining us, this is Enterprise Television Enterprise Morning. Right now, we'll be taking our main conversation, and I'm not the only one here, and we'll be taking this main conversation with me. Right?
Good morning, Nigeria, and I make you welcome to our independent special right here on Enterprise Television. We're very so excited to have everyone join us today. Most importantly, today as we celebrate our 65th anniversary. But most importantly, you're looking so Nigerian. You know, with the Nigerian everything riddled all over you. It's like you are the one we should be celebrating, actually.
Okay, we are celebrating everyone.
Celebrating everyone.
I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating myself. Yes. We're celebrating everyone, right? And yes, you know, I really do. I just want to look what I am celebrating. That's why I'm having a touch of green.
A touch of green.
And the land is green.
All right, so the land is green, and we're very so excited. And so let's move straight to our main conversation for today.
Okay.
President Bola Tinubu, in his Independence Day broadcast marking Nigeria's 65th anniversary, highlighted 12 major achievements of his administration over the past 28 months. He noted that government revenue has diversified beyond oil, with records non-oil income exceeding 20 trillion naira, while debt servicing has been reduced from 97% to below 50%.
That's true. External reserves rose to $42.3 billion. Tax-to-GDP ratio increased to 13.5%, and Nigeria recorded trade surpluses for 5 consecutive quarters, with non-oil exports rising to nearly half of total exports. Now, on energy and currency stability, Tinubu stated that oil production rebounded to 1.68 million barrels per day, with the country refining petrol locally for the first time in 4 decades.
He added that foreign exchange reforms stabilized the Naira, while social investment delivered 330 billion Naira to 8 million households. In addition, the solid mineral sector recorded a dramatic rebound, with coal mining posting over 57% growth in the second quarter of 2025.
Very true. The president also pointed to progress in infrastructure and global recognition of reforms. Key rail and highway projects are nearing completion, including the Kano-Katsina-Maradi and the Lagos-Calabar routes. Nigeria's stock market has surged, while sovereign credit ratings improved due to economic reforms.
And also, but finally, the central bank cut interest rates for the first time in 5 years, a sign of confidence in the nation's growing macroeconomic stability. We're very so excited to still have with us Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Awesome. Barrister, let's get talking. We can see all the president and his people have stated there, as much as they are, according to some Nigerians, largely theoretical. I'd love you to please expand this for us. Which of those 12 or 20 plus agendas do you think it's worthy enough to give the president a round of applause?
You see, my worry about, my concern about the speech is that it was reduced to a tenor issue. We are celebrating 65 years in the anniversary. That means we have to look at our from the day one to date. Where are we? Where have we done? Where are we now? Are we progressing? Have we reduced our progression? That's what we're supposed to look at. The way the presidential speech was captured, it appeared it only look at the 3 years of the president, or sorry, 2 year plus of the president, and looking at what the president has done or what he's doing to determine whether or not we are moving forward. And most of the things, let's even look at some of the things the president have said. I may not be able to capture everything in my head, or I can only, likely I like them. He talks about a reduction in what's it called? A loan or whatever. Sorry,
interest rates. Interest rates. He said this is the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything that will reduce to tenure of the president, as if even the 8 years of Buhari, let's even say they want to talk about their own government, which is APC, because the president is from APC and the president of Buhari's administration is also an APC. In fact, the president campaign that the President Buhari administration did well to the extent that he promised to continue from where they stopped. So you should have looked at it, even if you want to reduce it to that level. Look at it from 2015 to date and see whether or not we have made progress. But the president is making it look like when he came in, everything was just at the zero level. That he is the one now trying to bring it up. It's not. I won't agree with that. I remember the Obasanjo regime. He was even able. We don't have debt. He cleared everything. The highest debt one that was there, I think, was $11 billion or so. I can't remember. But today, how much is our loan? You have a loan of 50 million, for instance. I'm not saying that's our loan. You now reduce it to 48 or 45. You now be praising yourself as having done well. Is that the way to go? You made an economy where what's it called? I'm even trying to reduce it to this administration. If the president wants to reduce it to that regard, you came and you met a dollar exchange rate at 700 Naira or so. You took it to almost 2,000 Naira, and you are able to return it back to 1,005. You are saying it's stable, and then everything is okay in that regard. You met us where fuel was just 170 something Naira per liter or so. I can't remember. And then you took it to 1,000 Naira, and you are saying you have done better because the price is coming down small from 1,000 to 800. Now, should we be celebrating that? So if the president is saying he has done well because some of those things are happening, I think the president should look at the background and look at when he came in, look at the situation when he came in, look at the circumstances when he came in, look at the volume of the economy at the time he came into office, look at the hardship on the land at that time, look at the level of inflation at that time, look at the level of inflation today. So these are the things the president should look at, and the president is always looking at his own deliberate, should I say, things that have become difficult just because of their own policy, and trying to rescue that situation and seeing that as an achievement. It's not an achievement. You took it somewhere else, and then you are trying to bring it back to that place, and you are celebrating yourself. No, that's not a celebration. For me, the speech of the president does not speak to the reality on ground. The reality on that does not support what the president said. He said we are getting it better now. Things are getting better. Is the security better? Go to my state and ask them whether security is better. Go to Kwara South, go to Kwara North. People are being killed. If you are comfortable with the social media, you see so many trending videos from my state.
Very well, Barrister.
Yes. People are complaining about the people are being killed daily. And what is the major responsibility of the government? Provision of security and welfare, security of life and property of the people. Life of people are not safe, property are not safe, and you say things are better. How is it better? People are complaining about hardship, even power. It's what people are saying, and we say it's better. So the president is looking at statistics, looking at paperwork, and it's saying it's using that one to determine whether. I think the president should look at the reality on ground, look at the people's situation, look at the standard of living, look at the welfare of the people, and then when you talk about making more money, you are making more money, but Nigerians are not seeing the money. What is the essence of that? You said you have met your target at August for this year, and our budget and most of the thing if you have met your target to that extent at last year, look at our budget. Our budget was for this year was about 30 trillion or 20 something trillion. You said you have gotten to 20 trillion at August. So what I'm expecting that since your budgetary allocation for that year is 30 something trillion or 20 something trillion, and you have gotten 20 trillion, I was expecting that as by now 80% or 90% of a projection in that budget will have been met. Have we met that? So for me, the president is not speaking to the reality on ground, and like I said, because I'm expressing this based on the speech of the president, because the 65 years anniversary should not be based on the achievement of this government alone. You should look at the education system. At the time we got independent, what was the standard? What is the standard today? Are we improving, or we are not even improving? We are going down. So can you celebrate that? While I was growing up, there is water everywhere. Pipe-borne water. Is there water today? When I was going, I went through the public schools. Very, very, very. In fact, in my state that time, I think we have only 1 or 2 private schools. All of us, majority of my state, we went to public schools, and we are better today. We are far better than the one we call a private school, even the most expensive private school today. Our school at that time. type of quality of education that we got. In fact, in my secondary school, we have foreigners who are our lecturers. I'm telling you, our school. I went to a Catholic school. We have Italians, we have Indians, we have Ghanaians. We have so many of them like that. We have about 10 or so of foreigners in my school. Even students. We have foreign students. Today, are we having that? Those are the things the parents should be looking at to see whether or not we are getting better. No, we are not getting better. We are reducing our standard. Before now, people come to Nigeria to come and get a medical. Today, we are running outside the country. The president talks about us patronizing local content, and the president is patronizing foreign content. The president is not leading by example. He talks about us believing in our Nigerian homegrown what's it called products. But Nigeria is not. The president is not doing that. The president wants to do his holiday. He will go abroad. He will go to France. He wants to get medical. He will go to France. He wants to do this and that. He will go to somewhere else. And he wants us to believe in what is on ground in the country. He's telling us about that, and he's not doing it. So it's not about you. So if you believe that things are better, why can't you step back and also use that facility and that is better for your own health and for your own holidays and all those things. So it shows that the things are not the way they are in line with what the president is saying. So the president should do more. We need to tell ourselves the truth. The president has failed. We have failed. No, I'm not talking about this president. We have failed generally in terms of responsibility of government, security and welfare. We don't have the security for the past how many years now? Have been something else. Security has been like that. Insecurity, sorry. During Jonathan, there was insecurity. During Buhari, there was insecurity. The extent of security during Obasanjo and the Yar'Adua are not what we are seeing today. And we are saying that we are improving. How are we improving? How are things getting better? When things are getting worse? We are rewarding criminality, and in the name of a non-kinetic means of settling insecurity. For me, I don't agree with the president. Is it in terms of education that we have done well? Is it in terms of health that we have done well? What have we done? How many health systems that we can boast of now today? At 65, you can say, except that when I was growing up, we hear about them coming to UITH to get medication, even foreigners. Today, that is not happening. In fact, they don't even have life most times for them to do anything. So for me, that's what I expect the president to do. Is that do a repressive aspect of our structure, health sector, education sector, and other sectors, and see whether or not we have improved on the standard before now. The standard that we have before now is reduced. So in that regard, we have not done well as far as I'm concerned. We need a lot of things to be done, and the president should know that it's not about his administration alone, because what all the things the president said today has to do with his own administration. He cut off other aspects of the country before now. He's trying to justify his own government and trying to tell us he's doing well. I don't know whether the president is doing well, because most of the things that have been done by this president, in fact, the policies of this president took us years back. The subsidy removal, which the president is boasting of, as far as I'm concerned, I will not celebrate it, because if you say you have policies that are good, and the policy is good, but the consequences of it is negative on the part of the masses. There's nothing good in that policy. As I'm concerned, if you know that this policy was made to ensure that people who are corrupting our oil sector are taken care of. How many of them are in court today? How many of them have been arrested? Are we saying we don't know them? So it's not only about you saying you want to survive millions of Nigeria just because few people are benefiting from a system. Today, don't we have few people benefiting from what is on ground? Few people are benefiting, and that was why Leno would be able to say, "May Nigeria happen to him," because he's benefiting. So Nigeria is happening to him positively. So that's why he's closer to not because he's better than us, not because he's more patient than us, but because he has that connection with those in government. So and he's getting the benefits for himself, and that's why he's saying may Nigeria happen to him. So if Nigeria happen to him in a positive way, you will also agree that Nigeria should happen to you. So for me, they compare our circumstances before now to what we have today. We have not done well at 65. So I'm not looking at it from the angle of 2 years of this government. I'm not looking at it from the angle of 3 years or even 8 years of this government. I'm looking at it from the date of independence. Let's even cut it down to 1999 date. What we have, the standard we have. You know, Obasanjo, you see what is that what we have today? I'm not saying Obasanjo is called 100% or whatever, but relatively compared to all government that have been in existence, Obasanjo can be said to have done better. All the structure, all the institutions we call institution to fight corruption today were all created by Obasanjo. Obasanjo raised our debt to zero. So many other things were done by him. That's not to say he scored 100%. In fact, he may not even score up to 40. I don't know in my own calculation, but compared to other people that have come before him, after him, sorry, he has done far better, as far as I'm concerned. And that is bad. If somebody who is the best is scoring 30 in a class of 100, is that good for us? That means the students are not good, or even the lecturers or whatever. I don't know who to blame. So, but for me, the president missed it when he shifted his broadcast to his own administration alone, or to achievements that have been made by his administration to compete to determine whether or not we are making progress. We are not making progress if looking back before now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Speaking of the debt, can the reduction of debt servicing be reviewed under the Fiscal Responsibility Act if mismanagement is alleged?
I think they are doing very well.
Okay, I was saying.
Can you borrow the point of Henry?
Okay, so sorry about that. I was speaking on the debt. Speaking of the debt, can the reduction of debt servicing be reviewed under the Fiscal Responsibility Act if mismanagement is alleged?
I couldn't tell. I don't know how to answer that question very properly because you see, even they say they reduce the debt. The order to reduce is not the debt itself; it's the interest on the debt we have incurred, and they are even planning to borrow more. So, what is the essence? So, if the corruption in our system is everywhere, it's not only in that aspect of physical whatever. We have corruption everywhere, and we are not fighting it, and that's the point I'm making. As long as we're not fighting corruption, we continue to have what we are having. We only have you making more money, spending more money, and not getting results. That's what we're going to be getting, and that's what we're seeing today. So even if you say you have a clear certain debts, and you are planning to borrow more, even in essence of what you have cleared, what is the essence of that? I couldn't know. You see, the law is there, but we are not following it. And I've been saying it, that our problem in Nigeria is not law. It's enforcement of the law. We don't enforce our law. Or even when we are enforcing it, we enforce it with a sentiment. And they do discriminatory in a discriminatory way. So until we do that, we enforce our law the way it should be enforced. We may not get it right in reality.
All right, Barrister, let's look at other matters. President Bola Tinubu said the Social Welfare Fund, about 330 billion naira was given to 8 million Nigerians. According to him, it came in 3 tranches. So he said that most vulnerable Nigerians at least got one of the 3 tranches of 25,000 naira. I do not know if the president thinks that giving handout is the best way of social welfareism. Do you buy the idea of giving handouts like he is so used to? He is a philanthropist, he knows how to give, but doing that as a leader, do you think it's a good way? And the second question is, how do we differentiate philanthropism and governance such that everyone can get an equal share of the booty?
Sharing money to people is not the way to govern. That's not how to provide good governance. You only provide a succum for few people, if at all there's that succum. So the idea of sharing money when almost all Nigerians are crying about hardship, will not. It's discriminatory, and it's how do we even get these people that we're talking about? How do we get people who are vulnerable? Who is not vulnerable in Nigeria today? As I'm speaking to you, I'm vulnerable. because my bill has been, yes, my bills have increased, and my income is not changing. Are you talking about the fuel increase in price of fuel? Are you talking about electricity tariff increase? What will take my money has come, and the government is not even fair in terms of collecting multiple taxes on from us. Yes, we may be complaining that people are not paying taxes directly. People may not be paying, but indirectly people are paying most taxes. So the idea of a government sharing money is not a way to govern. That money you are being shared, let's even admit that they spend that kind of money. If you invest that 330 billion in every community in our country, in other words, go to this country community, provide a cottage industry or one part of industry, and engage these people you call vulnerable, and make them to produce or bring something to Nigeria, whereby they are also making money. That will be gain. It will be win-win. They will get money, Nigeria will get money, and then, so it will not be a way of you just spending money and we're not seeing it. How sure are we that these people are even getting this money? I'm aware some people have asked questions regarding the details of those who are of the beneficiaries. I'm not sure they've given that out. I am expecting that the names of those who have been given that money and the details will be out, so that we'll be able to, there will be transparency and accountability in that regard. But that for me, it's just an audio giving, as far as I'm concerned. Giving people money in this, I'm not saying the government should not do social responsibility in a way, but we cannot compare ourselves with what is happening in America. Other people. It's not everybody that you just say give this sharing money. You borrow money and start sharing it. But that money being shared will not even have any effect on those who are collecting it. When you collect 10,000, how many days within a month? How many days will it take you to spend that 10,000? What will you achieve with that 10,000 naira? How would that 10,000 naira make you lift you out of poverty? So these are the issues. So when you invest in what is not going to give you benefit, you get a result that will be negative. You'll be spending money and people will not see it. Let's even admit that they are spending it, where you won't see the result because it's not significant. 5,000, 10,000 cannot take anybody out of poverty in our country of today.
All right.
Yeah, that's what Barrister said. 5,000 cannot take. Cannot even take a student, not even like a neutral person, like a neutral Nigerian, a student, through, because right now, okay, when I was coming to the office today, I even noticed that they were having this queue. Yeah,
there's fuel scarcity as a result of the Dangote Penderson issue.
He never knew that. He just came in the morning, he just woke up and he was like, he wants to do his normal daily activities. So I was wondering in my head that, okay, we've been having these issues, we've been having this for scarcity, and also in other issues, and when before now, Barrister was even talking about 65th independence. He was even saying that he's not going to even include the independence, just the birthday, and he tried to come up with some other things we have achieved, throughout this year. So the thing is, I'm just trying to impute my thoughts from what Barrister said. So that's it.
All right, thank you so very much, Barrister. We can go on and on this particular matter, but in 60 seconds, if you may, what do you think is the way forward at this point? Because unfortunately, Nigerians have seen themselves in a precarious situation. If you were one amongst those advising the president or the legal a person behind the president, what do you think would be your best advice to him at this point? Let's even assume that he would listen to you.
My assumption, my contribution or my suggestion will be limited because those in government today who are giving advice to the government are collecting money. They are being paid for their services. They are being paid for thinking. So I will not give my own for free to any government. If you like, call me unpatriotic. It's my own. Call me unpatriotic. If you call me unpatriotic, that means the president is also unpatriotic because the president is being paid. So for me, I would just say that the government they should look at Section 1472B and know that the responsibility of government is to provide security and welfare. And in that regard, they should think about how to ensure that we have security, and to also think about how we can have a the welfare of the people can be taken care of. No matter how much money you make, and people are not benefiting from it, or we still have that insecurity, or we have people still crying in power, they have not done anything. If you like, build Kilimanjaro houses, build roads from Nigeria to Maradi, build Abuja to anywhere, and people are not seeing the benefit in terms of their welfare or standard of living. They are still not going to be. So the essence of government is to serve people. It's not to make money. So they should have that at the back of their mind, that we are here to serve people, and the interest of the people should be paramount in our head, not about what we are going to gain, and not about the money we are going to make for the country. If you are making money, that money must be used for the benefit of the people. That would be my advice to the government.
Thank you so very much, Barrister. I sincerely believe that he would listen to some of these things. We love to believe our president is a listening president, and he would listen to us. I just feel that this would be, have a way of getting to him, or maybe getting to those who are closest to him. So we would, of course, see a better days for Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Barrister. We truly do appreciate you. And happy 65th anniversary to all of us.
Birthday. Borrowing money, people to give us money. Happy 65 birthday.
Bless you. God bless Nigeria. Happy 65th anniversary to Nigeria. Bye-bye.